RDTDaily.com presents a Tarabuster with comedian Tara Devlin.
All right, what's up, everybody? Nice to see you. This is our regularly scheduled Friday night get-together at youtube.com/C for channel/Tarabuster. Come on over if you're on any other platform. Hang out with the greatest chat room in all of liberal media, in all of media. I don't know, dare I say. All righty. Thank you. I see Jim is in the chat already. Thank you, Jim, for your super chat. Thank you, JD, for hanging out. I see you there, JD. And thank you, Matt. So nice to see you. And thank you for your generous super chat. And thank you, Jim, for your generous super chat as well. Not that one is not less generous than the other. In fact, Jim is incredible. And so is Matt. But Jim always... I can't thank you enough, Jim. Like I said, if you want a mug, send me your address at tarabustermedia@gmail.com. You too, Matt. You too, JD. All right, guys. We have a lot to talk about tonight, but let me just do the plugs in case somebody is new and they want to know what the hell is up in this bitch. So this is unapologetic liberal media on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, and humanity. And God damn it, there seems to be a shortage of that. And the show is on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher. Please give the show a good review on iTunes. It's been a while. I've been saying that a while. We haven't had a review in a while. So if you haven't given the show a review yet, it does help us get up in the algorithm. So if you could take the time, whatever. That's a less expensive way to help the show grow. And we also, encourage patronage. If you can become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. I know there are a lot of shows out there asking you for patronage. But, no shows like this that are unapologetic and actually, honestly, whatever. Honestly, actually, yeah. Why do I keep saying that? I believe, I don't know, it sucks to be right. I feel like I can see the future in many ways. I hate to say it, and I don't know, whatever. We'll talk about it. We'll talk more about it. Why am I rambling about that? I just feel like, as far as, if you want to support our show, this is a good one to pick. That's all. Because we do have a great chat room, and we're building a community, too. So, all right, what am I saying? Let's just get to work. Also, Rokfin.com. Go over there and sign up. You can get their free stuff, but you can also become a member. Thank you, Terry. Terry says, I understand. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but you get it. I feel like what we talk about on the show, I do feel like we're kind of ahead of our time in a way. So it's a little depressing. But the arc of history is long, but it bends towards justice. But it also isn't linear. And I fear for this country. I do fear that we're not going to make it. So, maybe I will be surprised, because I saw something on Twitter. But I will miss Twitter. If Elon Musk turns Twitter into 4chan, I will be out of here or out of there. But I did see something, and it kind of passed, and I didn't grab it. But it said something about one of these pollsters who has predicted predicted the Senate and the House and the presidency for however many years, have never been wrong, blah 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 blah, predicts that Democrats will maintain their majority and also expand. their majority in the midterms. And, I was like, huh? And it was on my phone and it went by and I didn't, I wasn't at my computer. I didn't grab it. So I went looking for it and I couldn't find it. But I thought, well, that was nice to see. But I don't know. Is it true? I wouldn't rest on our laurels. The fact is the Republicans have corrupted the courts, and they've also corrupted the elections. They've passed legislation in nearly half the states. I think it might be more than half. With their dirty tricks, pushing not just the big lie. I mean, it's very frightening what we're up against, and I don't even think that, as far as like everything else seems to be an outside issue in a way. The main issue should be sending these fascist bastards into history's trash pile, where they'll be comfortable there. That's where they belong. That's where all fascists eventually wind up, as history shows us. So, but unfortunately, you know what happens in the interim, as the normal people, as the decent people are sending them to history's trash pile, there's a lot of pain and death. They never go quietly. It's not even 75 years ago, our Antifa ancestors sent their fascists to history's trash pile, and they didn't even take a century for them to rear their filthy fascist heads, because that's in their hearts, and it can't be helped. It's sort of like us, we can't help being on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy. Not that we don't make mistakes, but and falter. And we're human, but, it's in your heart, right? Leave no one behind. Empathy, compassion, these are strengths. That's why Mother Nature gave us these feelings, to feel the pain of other people. Because we're in this together. We're interdependent, and we're supposed to be a community that cares. E pluribus unum might as well be a Buddhist mantra, frankly. Out of many, one. Right? That's it, right? Yeah. I'm a Buddhist. I practice Buddhism with the SGI. And one of the sayings is, many in body, one in spirit. And, that sounds like e pluribus unum to me, frankly. But, okay. All right. So, I'm really, today, it's like, it never stops, when I'm going about my business of the day and I'm thinking about the show, what we're going to talk about. I'm always working to that degree. And, it's just never, it's like an embarrassment of riches, frankly. There's never a shortage of stuff going on. And it's almost over, it is overwhelming. So what I want to talk about right out of the gate, and I don't even know how long, this might even take us to the end of the show, frankly, but maybe not. This baby formula thing that's going on with the Republicans. On every level, we can attack this on every level. First of all, they are liars. Okay. Yes. Oh, there is a baby formula shortage, but it's not because of the 0.0001% of babies with darker pigment who might have, who are in detention for, their parents, their mothers are being detained. So it's not like they can go driving around looking for baby formula. So, because we're not completely abhorrent like Republicans want us to be yet, we don't, when we have people detained, we don't let their babies starve. So that's, I consider a plus. I consider that a good thing. But Republicans, they don't like that. They want babies to starve. Everything about them is hypocritical. Of course, I don't know. Hypocrisy is the wind beneath their wings, and I don't understand. We talk about this all the time. Who votes for these people? Right, exactly. Elise on the chat. There are only 3 baby formula baby formula manufacturers in the U.S. Exactly. There is a baby formula shortage because of Republican policies. Hold on. I'll be right back. This is Tara Devlin. So, yeah, there's a shortage of baby formula because of Republican policies and GOP, their pathology about deregulation. They don't give a shit about babies. And I'm sorry, I'm cursing right out of the gate. I should apologize. I don't know. I apologize to myself. But they're so full of shit. Let me just play some of the outrage, and we'll get into where this shortage comes from. Suddenly, Republicans care about starving babies. You know, in this country, we have food insecurity, the richest country on earth. I keep seeing the Republicans all over Twitter and everywhere else that anybody that wherever they spew their venom, saying, how can we, in the richest country on earth, be out of baby formula? Yeah, I ask myself that question, that qualifier, all the time. How can we, in the richest country on earth, you know, pick the back part of that sentence, live paycheck to paycheck, have millions going and declaring the uniquely American medical bankruptcy. How can we, in the richest country on earth, have young people come out of college as indentured servants rather than educated youth ready to bring on the future? I mean, how can we, in the richest country on earth, have a majority that can't save $400? How can we, in the richest country on earth, have people who miss 2 paychecks have to go to a food bank? You know what I mean? Because there's no middle class. How could we, in the richest country on earth, not pay living wages? How can we, in the richest country on earth, have 1/3 of the American people who just can't retire? That means, you got to work until you drop effing dead for these scumbags. How can we, in the richest country on earth, allow the shame of being of something called food insecurity? That's America for you. So don't give me your crocodile tears, you filthy fascist freaks, about baby formula, because brown people with darker pigment are getting some baby formula. You see, it's the racism. It's all of it. They get to incite their base. They get to bash Biden. Like, what is he? What was he supposed to do when you pricks were deregulating everything? And that's why that's why we have a concentrated this market. There's no competition in this market. That's why the American people are up against the wall half the time with these monopolistic goddamn companies that buy Republican and Democrat politicians. So it remains that way. So they can keep on keeping on, with their stock buybacks, because we'll get into it. This company that makes one of the three that makes the baby formula didn't do what they were supposed to do and fix their machines that were contaminating the baby formula. And because of that evil FDA, it was the evil FDA that it's the only reason we know about this, besides the fact that they killed babies. Babies died. Not zygotes, not a clump of cells, babies. That Republican they pretend to love. His hypocrisy is, I don't even know. I can't take it. It makes me want to puke. But come on, Democrats. Again, I have to take the Democrats to task, because will you please listen to the show? Yeah, great. Take these talking points and run with it. Fight these bastards. They're full of it. I mean, they are just overflowing with hate and division, because they have no solutions. Don't give me a break, man, of these Democrats talking about bipartisanship. Joe Biden gave a press conference about the baby formula shortage, but that's not good enough. I guess what's he supposed to do? Go down to the border and smack the 0.000.1% of baby formula out of the hands of babies, out of the babies' mouths, I suppose. You're supposed to kick it out of their mouths. And what is that gonna do? Nothing. What is he gonna do? He's gonna drive it to your I don't know, Mitch McConnell's district? The fact is, they have no solutions, and they don't care. They don't want a solution. Their only solution is put us in power so we can kill democracy once and for all. And for the fact that if the Republicans were in charge right now, this would still be happening, except it would be worse. And they wouldn't even be a peep about baby formula shortages. And if one of the fake news reported on it, the tax cheating, draft dodging, America hating con man would just say, it's fake news, fake news, fake news. And the Republicans would follow suit. Because Republicans don't give a crap about this country. They hate this country. They don't want any solutions. They're not. This is not what they want. They're not in government to have it function. Every time another book comes out about the filthy con man. Now the latest Esper's book, he said, talking about how the entire focus, and this is what we knew already, but the entire focus of the White House was not on governing or meeting the needs of the American people. It was on re-electing the con man, putting the piece of filth, the waste of human DNA, back in office so he can continue to tick off the boxes on Putin's wish list, as he does and did. And he can continue to line his pockets. I'm sick of these scumbags, I'm sick of them. They Hunter Biden. They're not a peep about the corruption. Right off the top, making National Guard planes land near his tacky hotels further away. So they have to drive farther, and then giving the soldiers, giving them not enough money to buy food in the tacky hotel. You know, when you're on duty, you're supposed to get the Uncle Sam's supposed to feed you. So if you're off base, they give you a per diem. And so, according to reports, you know, the con man made the, I guess, Air National Guard people land near his tacky hotels when they were out on duty, wherever the hell they were. I think in Scotland in this particular case, but it was all the time. And they would give the whatever voucher they got for their meals was not enough to cover it. So they had to take money out of their own pockets. So, yeah, we got screwed. And the American people got screwed, and the service members got screwed. Of course they did. And Donald Trump got effing paid. And then they also had to drive 50 miles further. That's just one. That's one example of the corruption. And we could talk about blockades for billions and bailouts. And, I mean, I don't understand it. Okay. What I don't understand is that anybody wants that again. Anybody, they want to put him back in office? That's how sick they are. And the fact that they want to put a con man who hates America, who is a grifter, who is a disgrace, who only pleases the worst people. That's how you know you're on the wrong side, bubby. If white nationalists and Nazis and David Duke are celebrating, you're doing it wrong. That's what I say about Elon Musk and Twitter. They were all these Nazis are celebrating. That's how you know it's wrong. Okay. Where was I? Where is it? Montage. I'm looking for this. Oh yeah, here it is. The baby, what's his, Fox News freak out over the baby formula because they care about babies. All right, they do, right?
Why can illegals get baby formula from border agents, but we can't get it at Walgreens? Does any of this make sense?
Of our border children, the illegal immigrant children are getting...
Border children, illegals. Because you see how fascist they are? This is one of the hallmarks of fascism. Of course, it's the overarching theme of you're under attack. Someone's taking from you. Brown people are taking from you. Immigrants. People lower on the ladder. They're coming. They're taking your baby formula. Now your baby's starving. And look at these rapacious, greedy babies. Immigrant babies. Not the corporations. Not the filthy scumbags who, instead of fixing their machines, they did a stock buyback. That's all that does is bloat the price of the stock so their CEOs and their executives make more money. Because that's all that matters. Who gives a shit if babies die? So, spare me. You filthy fascist bastards. Never. Will they ever come to the table and come up with a solution? How do we solve this crisis? Every problem that happens, I mean, through life, you have issues, you have problems, things happen, shit happens. And you gotta address it. So, what do Republicans do? Any of them have any solution, huh? Do they have any solutions except make the rich richer, siphon more money out of the taxpayers' pockets and put it into the pockets of people who just want to look at their bank account and have another zero on it so they can tell you and me and everybody and the government that the founders rebelled against an intergenerational aristocracy to create, they could tell them what to do, basically nullifying that grand experiment. Oh, I hate them.
Formula.
So American families, there's a shortage, but if you're a migrant, don't worry because Uncle Sam has a stash of that.
We reached out to Customs and Border Protection to find out how much.
0.0001%. This is not a crisis because there's a lot of friggin' babies at the border. I mean, it says everything about who they are. This entire framing, the situation that we have about, with the shortage of the baby formula is a Republican creation. And now they get, it's like a circle jerk of fascist hate and division. They must be this is like a wet dream for them. Because they can tickle the racist funny bones. They can distract. They can beat up Joe Biden. Everything is Joe Biden's fault. But nothing. You ever notice nothing was Trump's fault, right? Nothing. It was never his fault. It was always somebody else's fault. Somebody did something. One of the only the best people that he hired somehow ended up being somebody who sucked. It's always somebody else's fault. That's your party of personal responsibility. But when there is a problem, it's Joe Biden's fault. Even though Joe Biden's trying to do something about it. He actually is. And they only care because somebody took a picture. This is the other thing. They figured out that so there's this meme going around with a picture that has absolutely no substantiation. This is, it's par for the course. There's no credit. There's no source on the picture. Who knows where the picture came from? It's a picture of pallets. And then there's a picture of empty shelves. Who knows? Because on Fox News, they've done before. What have they done before? They've tweeted out and broadcast pictures of empty shelves in China from 2013. And they're like, oh, Joe, look into Joe Biden's America. How much longer are we going to take it? Democrats, come on, man. Why is this so hard? Why is it so hard to fight back ferociously against these horrible people who are the absolute worst? They're not nice people. They're not good people. Make America great. How could you make America great when you're not even good? You're not even decent. You're not even a decent human being. You're not even a good human being. You can't make anything great. Look at this pasty-faced prick. This trust-funded chicken murdering prick. Like he ever batted an eye, shed a tear, gave a second glance to hungry babies in America. He's a real freedom fighter, this one. A real man of the people. The scum-sucking pus. I mean, he's like a walking pus bag with ruddy white skin wrapped around it. And I guess it's given some motion by some demonic spell. I mean, just the fact that and for those on the podcast, we're looking at Tucker Carlson's face. Unless you probably could have figured that out by the description. But yeah, here's somebody who is an heir, a little Lord Fauntleroy. There's no Nobel. Oh, I can't say that word. Nobel. Why can't I say oblige? I can say oblige. I can't put the two together. Noble. It just won't come out. There's none of that. There's no gratitude. You know, I was born on third base thinking I hit a triple. No self-awareness there. No concern to use your privilege to ensure that everyone has a decent life. You know what I mean? Not that he has that kind of power, but just use your power for good. God. Hold on, we'll be right back. All right. I'm Tara Devlin. We're hanging out at youtube.com/C for channel/Tarabuster. So come on over. Oh, youtube.com. Right. I said that, right? youtube.com/C/Tarabuster. And we got a great chat room happening. I see. Oh, my God. Let me finish this. Hold on.
Baby formula the agency has purchased, they would not tell us. It's not their duty to respond to the public, apparently, but they didn't deny that they had bought it. The spokesman told us that, quote, ensuring migrants have formula is in line with this administration's commitments. So how much more is people going to take, you wonder? It's too humiliating.
How much are you going to take? Yeah, ensuring that migrants have formula is one of the commitments. Yeah, but we could walk and chew gum at the same time. It's not a zero-sum game. Oh, so a couple of pallets are we're not letting babies starve who are in detention. So that's a bad thing for Republicans. Instead of having any solutions, why don't they I mean, of course they don't. They don't have any solutions. That's not the point here. They will never reveal the fact of how we got into the situation. According to them, I guess Joe Biden didn't get up early that day and make the formula. Not the corporations that killed babies because they'd rather fund stock buybacks than fix their machines that were poisoning the formula. And thank God for the FDA, you know, that big government regulation that has standards. You know, there are some standards. See, they want all the benefits of civilization, but they don't want any of the responsibilities we have to each other, and they don't want to have to worry their pretty little pasty white boy heads about actually being innovators or part of a community or, you know, or e pluribus unum and shit. They just want to ensure that the rich can get richer. And whenever their greed causes babies to die, or anybody to die, in this circumstance babies, they'll just distract. You never heard any reference to the fact of the monopolistic nature of this baby formula industry. Where'd that come from? How about anybody talk about stock buybacks rather than updating infrastructure and fixing their filthy formula vats? Of course not.
And pallets of baby formula for illegal immigrants and their families. Even as hardworking American families, we're now suffering a massive, a nationwide formula shortage.
Illegals pouring across and being flown all across America, crowding our schools, spreading illness and disease, working for under-market pay. Democrats just don't care. No one is
Look at
convinced
this.
by today's
Working for everything out of her mouth is right out of the Nazi, out of Nazi history. Let's listen to that once more. I know. It's repugnant. She is right out of Ilsa of the SS, this bitch.
across America, crowding our schools.
Crowding our schools. Because we're not supposed to educate people. Or, those dirty, filthy infestations. The immigrants. In the nation of immigrants. Because they love America, don't you know? They love the stars on the shirts they wear, and the red, white, and blue, and the hats, and they love humping flags. They love watching a con man literally put his filthy arms around a flag. That's how inane they are. That's all. Oh, yeah, I love America. I mean, we all saw and we see the video, the pictures of the con man humping the flag. He does it. He's been doing it. He does it. He hasn't done it just once. But that, yet again, proves everything that we talk about on the show. Everything I say constantly, that Republicans they hate America. Not only do they hate America, they're confused by America, and they cling to the symbols of patriotism because the substance is way beyond them. So, of course, Trump would hump a flag for these freaks. And that is sufficient for them. That is patriotism. Look at me, I'm hugging a flag. And what is that supposed to mean? Would you leave no one behind? Out of many, one? No. It means just what it seems. The substance of patriotism is beyond them. And it also shows such disdain for the people that I don't know why they go and see this con man and vote for the con man, but it shows just how much they loathe the typical Trump dupe. They loathe them. And this is the other thing, we talk about it on the show, that I hate them, of course I do, but I'm not trying to hurt these freaks. I just want them to get the help they need. I want them to have living wages. I want them to live in a decent country, that pays living wages, where it's not the least upwardly mobile with the widest income gap like it was 40 years ago. We used to be the most upwardly mobile. Now we're the least, thanks to Reaganomics and Clintonomics. I mean, that's what I say. We want them to have health care. We want them to have this decent middle-class life. What do they want? They want us to be triggered. They want us not to, I don't know. Not to have families, not to have rights, not to give a shit about anybody. And it's just their disdain, the way they talk about immigrants it proves exactly what I always say, that they hate America. This is a nation of immigrants. I know they hate that. That is the fact, though. So if you hate the very essence of what this thing is, humping a flag is not going to fix it. It's not going to distract. The normal people, the majority of people, are not stupid. We could take heart in that. The majority of Americans are not as dumb as the dupes who vote for these grifters. They see, that's why it's the normal person has a visceral reaction to the con man as a repugnant waste of human DNA. That is the normal reaction. Normal people recoil from that. Like, as, you know, when you see something disgusting, you're just like, ugh, get it away. That's just a normal human reaction. Normal human reaction to a grifter who now, he tried all kinds of grifts and he settled on the Republican Party in this broken-ass country, of course, the broken-ass system, broken by greed. That's where all the problems start. You know, the greed is really one of the fundamental. It is the fundamental rot, but the sickness, the fundamental sickness is racism, and that's the racism is a tool used to fund the greed. You know, to keep the greed going. But I find it insane. Well, not insane, whatever. This country is insane. But of course, Republicans don't know this. One of the charges against King George in the Declaration of Independence was that he was limiting immigration. You know, they love America, though. They love America, everyone. Can't you see by the flag he humps? God, they love America. And this country is so broken. Thinking about this book that Esper wrote. And yet again, another grifter from inside waits until his book comes out. Then we get all these disgusting revelations. They're not really revelations. We know what a filth bucket the con man and everyone. It's like shit, you know, attracts flies. So the con man is like a giant turd and all the flies fly around and then they fly off to write their books. But don't you think we could have used to hear something like this con man wants to shoot protesters? Things like that. But anyway, so as far as this baby formula shortage and the Republicans, it's everything I talk about. It proves me right yet again, and I hate to be right. It sucks to be right on every level because they have no interest in a functioning society. So when we have a problem, any problem that we have will be immediately exploited for political expedience for these scumbags. You know, and I think about 9/11 when we were attacked, when George Bush was squatting in the White House and we were attacked, and imagine, you know, I see Mark, is Mark here? Yes, Mark, our millennial correspondent, just too young. I don't know. If he does not remember 9/11. He's our young millennial correspondent. But as we talked about before, there was a feeling of unity in the country like never before, like I had never experienced. And I remember watching George W. Bush's speech to the nation on after we were attacked, and he gave a speech at night, I think a couple of days later, and Democrats, Republicans, everybody was united, cheering, applauding, we're going to get him, blah, blah, blah. But there were no no Democrats used it as an opportunity to point out the fact that, hey, you ignored the warnings and you allowed this attack to happen. Imagine if the shoe was on the other foot, and you guys, you know it. If there was a Democrat in the office, first of all, if Al Gore actually assumed the presidency that he won, and he did win, that was another example of the Supreme Court handing handing the presidency, stopping the votes, handing the presidency over to somebody who received fewer votes. And if Al Gore was in the White House, who knows if we would have even been attacked. He probably would not have ignored the presidential daily briefs and the warnings about an impending attack. That's what these briefs said. Oh, and then apparently George W. Bush said they sent somebody down to where was he? Camp David or wherever. He was on vacation, as he was constantly. And they sent someone down to really stress the importance, to stress that this was an imminent threat. And George W. Bush said, yeah, you covered your ass. Go on home now. And did nothing about it. Nothing happened. In fact, Dick Cheney, they met in the White House when they were handed power peacefully, when power was peacefully transferred by a Democratic administration to these less vote-getting squatters. They stressed to George W. Bush that the number one issue would be Osama bin Laden. Right? It all came out after the fact. And what did Dick Cheney do? They opened up an office in the White House to discuss going into Iraq. Regime change in Iraq, even before we were attacked. So, if the shoe was on the other foot, if there was a Democrat in the office, in the White House when we were attacked, I have absolutely no doubt there would have been no unity. The Republicans would have used it as another opportunity to divide the country, to vilify Democrats. What Democrats didn't do that, though, because they saw, I guess, the need for unity at a time of crisis in the country. We were attacked. What would it serve if we were at each other's throats? It would be harmful to the American people. Not only harmful literally, but psychologically, spiritually. We were grieving. It was a shock to have our country attacked and to see it. I mean, I was here in New York and I saw it with my own eyes. And it was traumatic. That's for sure. And, I remember I could see it from my window, frankly. When I'm at home, I can see the skyline of New York City, of course. But it goes to show you. I mean, you don't have to be a great political scientist to know past performance is indicative of future results or future performance, right? Republicans never miss the opportunity to divide. Why would that be any different? And this is why they're so disgusting. Look at COVID. That would have been, Trump could have waltzed into his second illegitimate term. All he had to do was not be a disgusting, lying piece of dirt regarding COVID. He could have unified the country, and he could have been like, oh, Operation Warp Speed. Everybody take the vaccine I made. Everybody wear masks. We're in this together because we care about everybody. We, e pluribus unum and shit. But he used it. It really was another racist opportunity to divide, because as soon as the data came out that COVID was harming communities of darker pigment more than it was initially, the pasty-faced white pricks like Tucker chicken killing Carlson, then they were like, oh, good. And also blue states. It was hitting the blue states because people want to go to blue states. So people from all over the world aren't flying into Mitch McConnell's district. They're flying into New York. And nobody wants to go to Mitch McConnell's backwater shithole. So I don't know. That's why COVID began here in New York, really, and took a while to kill 1 million people, but took a while for red states to really feel the brunt, the sting of the lash of their own shitty policies. Anyway, let's see if I can get through the rest of this clip.
Formula shortage.
Illegals pouring across and being flown all across America.
Look at this bitch. See, I'm sorry, I couldn't, right? It's like 2 seconds in. What does this woman do what is her reason to live? I mean, no, of course, yes, all lives matter, right? I mean, what is her purpose in life? Could you imagine? That's why I don't understand how anybody votes for these people. I look at this woman, Laura Ingraham, or whatever the hell, and she makes me want to vomit. Her sociopathy is so apparent. Hold on. This is Tara Devlin. I'll be right back. I mean, look at her. Look at Laura Ingraham. She sits there in the ivory tower and does, what? Attacks immigrants? Congratulations. You've reached your life's goal? Wow. You really made something of yourself, Laura. And history will revile them. I just wish I had a time machine to go into the future, because I would like to see what I know I'm right, but mark it, man. Mark these words. If this is the future and you're watching these clips because you're studying it for anthropology class, let me tell you, I know that you revile that Laura Ingraham bitch more than normal people reviled her in her time. No one is going to look back on these people as heroes. Future generations are going to be appalled even more. The reason it's like when we read things that went on in history and we're like, wow, that's appalling. That's what's going to happen to these people. Nobody's going to lionize them. They're not going to be like, oh, what patriots. Look at what a patriot. They really were like freedom fighters They were really fighting for America when they were screaming in people's faces without a mask and telling them, I got a gun. Right? No one is going to look back and say, oh, look at how patriotic their dim leader was. Look at him. See, I could see how patriotic he is look at the way he humped that flag. I swear to God. I wonder, don't they ever get tired of being on the wrong side of everything, on the wrong side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, humanity? Aren't they tired yet? But they're not. Because how greedy do you have to be, Laura, to make a living like this? I don't understand. I suppose it's like sociopathy. There's a lot of things I don't understand, like, serial killers and things like that. I don't get it. They exist. Same thing with these sick Fox News pundits. That's a class all unto itself. Millionaires paid by billionaires to tell a bunch of suckers that their problems are because some baby is getting formula. Some migrant baby in detention is getting formula. And you should be outraged by that. And they don't even have they have no qualms about reaching into the Nazi playbook and just pulling out these old Nazi tropes. Infestation, scarcity, they're coming to get you. Fear, the lies. I mean, just even they know better. That's the other thing. These sons of bitches, don't you think this bitch knows that there's only 3 formula manufacturers in the United States and deregulation made this shortage? That's what happened. They couldn't manufacture the formula because it was killing babies. Because they allowed their poison, they allowed their greed to poison the formula. Because it was more profitable to do stock buybacks than it was to fix their filthy formula machine. I don't know. And she knows that. She knows that. Why doesn't she say it? And then she goes home and she puts her head on her pillow and she sleeps like a baby. I don't get it. I just don't get it. And doesn't she, we could put her clip side by side, all Fox News clips really, side by side with Nazi propaganda. And they absolutely mirror each other. Chillingly. Same old racist Nazi lies. Vilifying the other. Oh, they're dirty. They're gonna get you sick. They're taking what you have. They're rapacious. They're never gonna stop.
Crowding our schools, spreading illness and disease.
You see that? Crowding our schools. Well, why? They don't have a problem with schools being crowded. That's how you know Republicans and this bitch, they're all full of shit. She doesn't have a problem with schools being crowded. Crowding our schools. Like you give a shit? These people want us to go back to the dark ages when you can get as much education as you could afford. You know, education is for the rich. Why do you need to be educated when all you're meant to do is work and die, and that's it? Work for her and her ilk. That's what she's there for. She's there to keep you distracted and out in the fields and then awaiting your rewards in heaven, and not not pointing your anger at her and her her paymasters, pointing it at babies who have darker pigment, whose mothers and fathers trekked 5,000 miles across a desert trying to get a little bit of that freedom that they heard so much about after we created the failed states that they're fleeing. The United States did that. I mean, why would anybody go? People don't wake up one day and say, let's take a 5,000 mile journey across the desert with a baby. Unless there's, they have no other choice. You notice the Canadians aren't coming here. Who the hell wants to come here? Like Trump said, remember when the con man was like, well, we don't want any shithole countries. Why don't the Norwegians? Why don't we have more Norwegians? Because they don't want to come here. Because they have health care. They live in one of the 10 happiest places on earth, and we ain't it. The United States is one of the worst countries to raise a family. That's a study. Numerous studies. Hold on. Oh my God, help us. Yeah. The study, U.S. is one of the, where is this? USA. Yeah, worst place to raise a family. I mean, all of these disgraceful facts. U.S. ranked among the worst countries to raise a family, study says. In case you thought America, this is from the New York Post of all places. In case you thought America wasn't experiencing enough turmoil, and this is an article from 2020, we discussed it at the time. The United States has been named the second worst wealthy nation in which to raise a family. Second worst. The first time I looked at the data, I was in disbelief, said co-founder Lyric Benson Ferguson of the findings in the Raising a Family Index. The Los Angeles-based mother of two started the site with her Aussie husband to help people stay healthy, safe, and happy at home while traveling. To determine the most and least family-friendly countries, the couple raised 35 OECD countries, part of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, according to safety, happiness, cost, health, education, and time. The U.S. ranked an abysmal 34th place out of 35, just ahead of last place finisher Mexico, whose murder rate jumped to the highest in nearly 2 years as drug cartels have run amok during the coronavirus. Leading the pack of overall fam-safe nations were, guess what? Iceland, Norway, Sweden, Finland. Yeah, why don't the Norwegians want to come here? Maybe because they don't want to die needlessly without health care. They don't want to not have maternity leave or paternity leave or just damn days off. We're the only country that doesn't have mandated leave. You get in England 30 days. Pat. That's on the low end of the spectrum. Guaranteed. You must not be motivated. Well, that's what Elon Musk says too. Americans just don't want to work. Everybody, we just don't want to work. That's all we do. But what is the meaning of life? To them, it is to make the rich richer and die. Die without pestering your betters. That's why Fox News exists. Really, that should be their overarching theme. The purpose of Fox News is to ensure that the dupes who consume that swill, that studies show, make people less informed. People who watch Fox News are less informed than those who watch no news at all. But it's there to ensure that those dumbasses never get a clue and pester their betters. Leave the betters alone. They're busy stealing and doing stock buybacks instead of fixing the infrastructure. That thankfully there is an FDA that kind of tries to keep tabs, but Republicans whittle away at that. Because who wants big government getting in the way when you can make a buck? So what? A baby died. 2 babies. Look at the babies at the border. They're eating formula. They're drinking formula. Another example of racism, division. The fact that Republicans have no interest in a functioning society. They wouldn't. Who wants a society to function and behaves like Laura Ingraham? What is the point of her? You know, what is her purpose? Does she get what does she get out of it besides being a greedy bitch? Oh, she hangs out with powerful people, powerful scumbags. What else you get, bitch? Oh, you must feel real good, huh? Kicking down on the poor? Making your viewers stupid enough to continuously vote for their own demise. Making them dumb enough to hate. Just get, and that's the other thing that I hate Republicans for, because this is how much they hate their viewers too. I mean, the Fox News people hate their viewers, / victims, because it's like they're robbing them of peace and tranquility and just a decent, I don't know, like they're just like pouring anger and hate and stupidity down their throats, and in turn robbing them of peace and happiness. Which is that's evil in itself. If there were something to alarm people about, by all means, do it. That's what the media is supposed to be there for. But to get on your billionaire-funded, millionaire mouthpiece network and lie, and just lie, spread these effing divisive lies. To what aim? So you could tell the dumbasses who are sitting at home like, yeah, it's those brown. Oh, they got a lot of pallets for brown babies. No American babies. Yeah, because that's it. Because what is the message? Oh, Biden hates America. Right. That's it. It's Biden's fault. Biden didn't wake up early. He missed his shift at the formula factory, and here we are. I don't know, man. They're sick. Why would you want to behave like this? Take your millions. I don't know if I told you. You guys know in my other life, I work in TV. But, that's why I say, please become a patron. If you want a daily show at a set time, that's how it's got to be. And I got a call one time, and I'm a freelancer, You know how it is, because this is how the country is now. Everybody's a freelancer. But I got a call from Fox News once, not too long ago. And it wasn't a call, actually. I'm exaggerating. It was on LinkedIn. Somebody sent me a message or something, if I remember correctly. And they're like, hey, inviting me to have a job at Fox News. Would you like to work here or whatever the fuck? I don't know. No thanks. I don't care. I would be starving in the street before I would take a job at that swill. I must be working for Der Sturmer. That's what it looks like, or that's what it is. It's comparable to that. And the woman was like, blah, 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 hey, I don't know, whatever. Would you like to, I don't know how she put it, but I was like, no, thank you. It's not really a good fit for me. I'm sure you understand. And she wrote back, oh, I understand. But if you know anybody, and then she's like, we have a great culture here. And I didn't say anything, but I felt like writing her back, yeah, we have a great culture. What about the culture of the country? You have a great corporate culture. That's what she said. We have a great corporate culture. You do? How? How can you have a great corporate culture? You're killing us. I'm not worried about your corporate culture. I'm worried about the culture of the United States that you're destroying. Because you know better, but you're greedy. And one time, one of my friends who's an editor, who used to work for Fox News, and this is years ago, before they sucked then, but I think they're worse now. And I remember talking to him, and I was like, oh, you worked at Fox News? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, I don't know. I could never do it. And he said, whoa. Like, he got defensive. And he was like, what if you were starving? What if... And I said, honestly, I would starve. I would fucking starve. I couldn't do it. I would not last. I would work on one night on Laura Ingram's show. That would be it. How much do you have to hate to spread that shit? You really must, you must believe in it somewhat. That's why I wonder who works. I know people are just trying to make a buck, trying to whatever, get through life. But I don't know, man. What if Fox News put on a network and nobody came? I don't know. It's really bizarre to me. All right, whatever. I'm looking for my eCam. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Let's see how much, if I can finish this clip.
And disease, working for under-market pay.
Okay. Sorry. Working for under-market pay, because that's their fault, too. You see how they create the problem and then they exploit the problem. So corporations are paying under market. They're paying the easily exploitable, undocumented workers under market rates. So it's not the corporation's fault. It's the desperate, undocumented human being. Under market. And she says it without batting an eye. Somehow in this worldview, in whatever world this bitch is living in, it's like, I guess, the party of personal responsibility, taking no responsibility, and every problem is because of an immigrant. Somebody else. It's somebody lower on the ladder. That's where everything fell apart. It's not the 1% who have more wealth than 3/4 of the country combined. It's not the fact that CEO pay went from 50 times the lowest worker to over 400 times since Reaganomics and Clintonomics. It's not that. It's the immigrants taking low market wages. And yeah, that's a problem. But do you see how they never actually talk about? They don't talk about the truth, because they don't want a solution. They just want you to hate. They want you to point your fingers at the vulnerable. If she was truly outraged by under market wages. And what's her market anyway? $7.25 an hour, if that? You fucking... But if she was truly outraged, she would be lambasting the CEOs. The corporations that exploit these workers, that pay them. All you got to do is put some CEOs in jail for using undocumented workers, and that will stop the problem dead in its tracks. It's I don't even know. I was going to say it's insane. I don't know. It's not insane. We are. Because of them. But hey, she's got her millions. That's all that matters to her. She's got millions. She's got access. Oh, she's got a very annoying voice. Worse than mine.
Democrats just don't care. No one is convinced by today's staged White House baby formula event either that Biden did.
Oh my God.
Why can illegals get...
This is the other thing. So they were all like, why isn't Joe Biden, making baby formula? And so he goes out and he has a press conference and he, discusses what they're doing to tackle this problem. And no one believes it. So what the fuck do you want, bitch? No one believes it. Don't even pay any attention. Yeah, like Joe Biden's got better things to do. He wants to come out and just give a sham press conference about baby formula because no one believes it. He doesn't really care. Oh my God, these people. I can't. Everything about her. And the fact is, I hate her. I hate them all, but I guess this is my own bias. I do expect more of women sometimes. That's my own bias. because I feel like, women are traditionally have that more, traditionally female characteristics like compassion and whatnot. But no, you know what I'm saying. Men are compassionate too, but I just feel like it's almost more disturbing. Look at her face here too. That's very disturbing. She's all giddy with her divisive, filthy lie. Not that he cares. Joe Biden came out with a press conference. Nobody's believing it. What are you, fucking 2 years old, bitch?
No one is convinced by today's staged White House baby formula event either that Biden did.
Staged.
Why can illegals get
Staged baby formula event. The same people who hump flags. The same people who vote for a con man because he hugged a flag. Staged. The same people who vote for a con man who, remember when he put supposedly, he put his undeserving brats, his spawns, in charge of this fake blind trust, and then they had a press conference. And that you want to talk about stage? Then they had folders stacked up, but nobody could see the folders because there was nothing in them. It was a staged. Nobody was buying that, but I wonder if she bought that. Did she say anything about that stage? What the fuck was Biden doing? Staged press conference. No one is believing it. No one. I will. If only. If only. If only. We will know this country is back on track, if ever back on. I'm saying back. We were never on track fully, but if this is how we know everything's upside down. She should be on YouTube saying, "Please become a patron." This poison gets out there, and it's spread wide from sea to shining sea, infesting the country with this swill, this Nazi fascist swill. No one is believing it. I can't take these people. It's 2-year-olds. Emotionally crippled, emotionally stunted, morally stunted. Schoolyard bullies. That's what they are. Oh my God. Are you telling me this is the end of the Progressive Voices part of the show already? Guys, if you can become a patron at patreon.com/TaraDevil. Please, what else? Please give the show a good review. And on your iTunes, tell your friends. Come and hang out on Friday nights at youtube.com/C4channel/Tarabuster. We will win. We're on the right side of history. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, and democracy. We stick together. We win. My name is Tara Devlin. I'll see you soon. All right, we're back with the rest of the show. Wow. I told you I had other things on the agenda, but I'm like, I don't know if I can get through it. I don't know if we're going to get to anything else besides this baby formula thing, because it's everything. It is an example. I could take this baby formula thing and write a 10-page paper about it from all different angles. Because it really does personify, it is emblematic of them, of the right, of the fascist right who hate this country and want us to break apart into an authoritarian cesspool like Putin and Erdogan and Orban. They're heroes. Yeah, all you got to see, you want to know somebody, look at their friends, right? But also look at who they admire. They admire the world's worst people. Here, look. This is with the baby formula. Logical end of Trump's deregulation. There is toxic lead, cadmium, and arsenic in our baby food. This was from 2021. Did you hear Laura Ingraham talking about this? Leading baby food manufacturers are selling, knowingly and without warning, unsafe products contaminated with dangerous levels of toxic heavy metals that can cause serious and often irreversible damage to infant brain development, according to a new congressional investigation that is generating renewed calls for greater regulation of the industry. This is from Common Dreams. Kenny Stansel wrote it. Dangerous levels of toxic metals like arsenic, lead, cadmium, and mercury exist in our baby foods at levels that exceeded what government experts are saying are permissible, said Representative Krishnamurti of the House Subcommittee on Ethics and Consumer Policy. We know that in a lot of cases, we should not have anything more than a single-digit parts per billion of any of these metals in our foods. Yet evidence provided by manufacturers show that some baby foods contain hundreds of parts per billion. The report is based on an analysis of data provided by some of the nation's largest manufacturers of baby food. So that was in 2021. Here's from NPR. Louis, where is this? Oh, St. Louis Public Radio. I was going to say written by Louis Public Radio. On science. Greed, unregulated greed led to tainted baby formula. September 23, 2008. Babies the world over. Oh, wait, hold on. This is an old article from 2008. I thought they were referencing an article from 2008. So this is another instance of tainted baby formula. Let's get more into the present. Here's from, this is in March. FDA says maker of powdered infant formula didn't take steps to prevent products from becoming contaminated. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has determined the company running a plant at the center of a baby formula recall didn't take steps to prevent products from being contaminated during manufacturing. The company, Abbott Nutrition, also failed to ensure that surfaces in the plant that touch the formula were maintained to prevent contamination. The FDA inspection conducted between January 31st and March 8th, found. The inspection findings come after Abbott recalled several lots of Similac, Alimentum, and Elicare baby formula made at its Sturgis, Michigan manufacturing plant. The recalled formulas have been linked to serious Chronobacter scaskoski and Salmonella infections in 5 infants. 2 of the babies died. The formula recalls have exacerbated product shortages due to supply chain issues, causing parents to scramble to find replacements. And this is in March. So it was beginning. And now it's Republicans are getting the real bang for their buck, beating up on Biden about this bullshit. But there's a lot of B's in that sentence. I don't know. They have no solutions. They don't care. It's nothing but a distraction. If they gave a shit about babies not having formula, they would be working with the Democrats to address the issue, not holding press conferences or going on their propaganda outlets going, nobody cares. Nobody knows what, they all know that you're full of it. Like we really, they wouldn't be beating this story from a disingenuous angle. They would be discussing, how did we get here? If they really gave a shit about babies and formula, or any babies. They don't care about babies. They don't care about babies, infants, adolescents, prepubescents, young adults, teenagers. They don't care. If they did, proof is in them. If they actually wanted to have a country that doesn't, isn't starving, this is possible. All you got to see is that they're lying. They're not addressing the issue with truth. It says everything. Here's Perjury Trader Green. Let me show you first.
Here's what we know. This government is failing the American people, the taxpayers and its citizens. Pictures are emerging today from the border, where the Biden administration has been sending pallets of baby formula for illegal mothers and their babies, while American mothers and babies cannot find baby formula. This is completely unacceptable, and this needs to end now.
You need to end. You need to zip your lip, Perjury Trader Green. Notice how she can flap her gums with lies flying out. Too bad she can't recall, right? And notice how she's a leader now. That's what I found interesting about this sham gathering of ghosts of the Gilded Age. That they put Perjury Trader Green up there, front and center. This needs to stop now. The government is failing. Really? Is it the government? Or was it the government that caught the corporations that were cutting corners and killing babies? And they had standards. Because if it were up to some of these greed-centered ghouls, they would sell your babies, sawdust. Yeah, just mix it up. Cut it with some sawdust or something. Well, the babies, they can't complain. And who cares? It'll fill them up. And we get more profit. But thank goodness the FDA comes in and says, no, I'm sorry, you can't just sell sawdust and call it baby formula. There has to be some standards. The government is failing. And the illegal mothers. I've never seen an illegal mother. This is how much they love life, guys. They love life and babies. Unless you're, unless you're an immigrant in a nation of immigrants. Or have darker pigment. See, you can have darker pigment in the filthy fascist Republican cesspool if you are a human shield for Republican bigotry. then, oh boy, they will put you right at the top. Unbelievable. Thank you, Richard W., for your super chat. Another great show, Tara. Thank you. Yeah, right? Richard W. If we defund the FDA like conservatives wanted to, we wouldn't have safe foods. Government is too big. That is their belief. Yep. That's right. Well, look at what they did with the slaughterhouses, which is disgusting to me, even saying that term. But they pulled all the FDA inspectors off the line. And they literally allowed shit into the food supply. So that says it all. This is another thing that Democrats make me frustrated about. There's nothing more pertinent. You could just take that and run with it. Tell your constituents that, Republicans hate you. They literally want you to eat shit, and made it so by taking all of the FDA inspectors off of the murder line at factory farms, and now they self-report. And not only do you eat shit, they allowed more shit into the food supply, and toenails, vulvas, parts of the corpse that human beings can't digest. And FDA's inspectors went public saying this is, because the FDA inspectors also take an oath to the Constitution, and they take an oath to protect the American people. And they said this is a violation of our oath, and people are going to get sick, and they're not going to know why. They're not going to put it together. Oh, I ate some shit because Trump allowed one of the executive orders. I wonder if Biden reversed that. You know what I mean? There's just so much. And the other thing with they should just do it. Reverse everything that scumbag did. But I mean, Biden doesn't seem to want to do that, because he thinks that makes him seem bipartisan. The government is failing you. Right, Haiku on the chat. She's saying she wants the formula to go to American babies. Socialism. Well, she wants socialism. Do you notice that's how it is with these fascists? They want socialism. So they love socialism for themselves. Government, they're like Goldilocks. Government is just right in the ways it serves them. And they don't answer these crises with their filthy conservatism. Conservatism is the cause of the problem. Every time we have a crisis, you never answer it with conservatism. You answer it with socialism. And then if it's not enough socialism, Republicans get they call a press conference, and then they have perjury trader Green up there to lie. I swear to God. Why don't the Democrats say, Republicans are, they can call them Republicans if they want, but they're lying to you, and all you got, just let me think. How would you phrase that? Obviously, they're lying, but all you have to know about the Republicans in regard to the baby formula issue is that they don't have your best interest at heart. They have no interest in solving the problem. And as proof, we give you Exhibit A, which is the fact that they're neglecting to tell the American people what actually caused this problem. It wasn't migrants at the border. It wasn't some pallets of of baby formula that was sent to the border because we don't let babies starve in detention. I mean, what do they want? They want babies. They want to disgrace us again. You see? That's what it is. They want us to starve people and babies in particular who are migrants in detention centers. And they want us to be, yet again, a pariah on the international stage. Not just a pariah. You know, it's not just about the way we look. It's about us as humans. You proud of that? Perjury Trader Green? You would be cool with that, right? And now you tell me, guys, if let's say Biden did that and they made babies starve in detention. What do you think the filthy scumbag fascists would do? Would they cheer? Would they say, great, good going? Oh, they would be crying about humanitarianism and how could Biden do this? How can Biden do exactly what we wanted him to do and allow these babies to starve? You know that. I'm losing my voice. Am I wrong or am I not wrong? Yeah, let them starve. Here. Excuse me. Oh my God. This is from the Mary Sue by Vivian Kane. An extreme shortage of baby formula is currently having dire effects on families nationwide. There have been reports of parents having to drive hours to find stores with formula in stock at a time when gas prices are still near record highs, or feeling forced to dilute the formula that they do have, which is, to be clear, incredibly dangerous. The shortage is a failure on pretty much every level. Supply chain issues were already causing a problem. And then in February, a major formula factory was shut down amid an investigation into a bacterial outbreak that saw at least 4 babies hospitalized. Well, it was only 4, so only 2 died. Maybe just put out the bacteria. If you're looking to be absolutely consumed with rage, there's a whistleblower report you can read that details the irresponsible practices in place at the facility and the FDA's slow response. Well, that's probably because Republicans have defunded it, as they do. This is what they want to do. They want to sabotage government so it doesn't respond. And then people are like, oh, look, it's broke. Let's give everything to Elon Musk because freedom. A tweet. Let's see. So this is from a tweet that Mo TKACIK. Oh, who cares, right? I can't talk anyway. So the origin of the baby formula apocalypse was Abbott's management refusal to repair dilapidated and failure-prone drying machines, turning the plant into a proverbial petri dish for Chronobacter because they needed that $5.73 billion for stock buybacks. The baby formula industry is extremely consolidated, with pretty much the entire country's supply coming from only 4 companies. This Abbott facility in Michigan that was shut down is the largest plant in the country. So when it shut down, the already existing shortage exploded in scale, which likely also led, understandably, to nervous parents hoarding what they could, which could have also exacerbated the existing shortage. This is a devastating and terrifying experience for so many people. So naturally, a lot of straight cis men who have literally never had to think about these things in their life are extraordinarily eager to wave their ignorance like a giant flag, proclaiming that it isn't actually a big deal because according to them, breast milk is free. God. Anyway. The people hit hardest by formula shortage are unsurprisingly poor people and people of color. And the breast milk is free argument ignores the history of racism and classism baked into the foundation of this subject and the ways in which those issues still manifest. Even for parents who can produce milk and babies who have no issues taking it, it's not free. Imagine a job that required you to work a half-hour to hour-long shift every 2 to 4 hours around the clock with no days off. Imagine that if you tried to do the job in public, you would be chastised by some lasciviously gawked and lasciviously gawked at by others. What if this job exposed you to the possibility of pain and serious infection? Oh, and for whatever reason, you're not interested in taking the job or able to take it and hold on to it for at least a year, you will be told you're a selfish asshole by random people. Even success, quote unquote, at the job can devastate you psychologically. You must provide all your own supplies. You are lucky to have this job, and if you don't see that, you're ungrateful. It pays $0. That's breastfeeding. On top of all this, the what did people do before formula crowd really seems to have no idea that, in addition to the fact that people have always found alternative sources of nutrients for babies, one of the obvious answers to that question is sometimes they starved. That's right. So it's not surprising that many men have been so quick to proclaim themselves experts on something they have no idea what they're talking about. Well, what else is new? Oh, boy. But that's Republicans. What? Hold on. There's so many. Let me see. What time is it? Bada bee, bada boo. Hold on. Da da dee, da da do. Hold on, guys. Sorry. Where's my Farrago? We only have 11 minutes left. Let me see. What's going on in the chat? Thank you, Dana Jim. I hope I pronounced it correctly. Great show. Nice to see you. Yes, Suzanne on the chat says some people use goat's milk. But the point of what we've been talking about all night is that if Republicans really cared, they would want to help, find a solution, not vilify. It's like never not a time to vilify someone lower on the ladder, is it, with these Republicans? And that's how you know they don't have our best interest at heart. Because what if you actually had a problem, right? Imagine, and take any real problem and let's address it with some bullshit that makes the problem worse. Not only makes the problem worse, but makes people worse in general. It doesn't address the problem, but it harms people's souls, harms the community, divides the community. That's Republicans. Anyway, I'm looking at my list because there's a couple of things I wanted. Where's the other thing? Since we have 11 minutes. I wanted to see. Let me see something here. Oh, let's just do this one because it's not getting as much attention. About the MAGA audit. And we'll do more shows, of course. Become a patron at patreon.com/TaraDevil, and that helps. But during the week, oh, mother effer. Don't tell me. I have, what do you call it? Subscriptions to these sites, and now it's asking me for a damn. It's asking me for my password, and I don't have it handy. I hate that. Especially when I'm on the air. All right. Well, this is a local complained about an alleged sex criminal going door to door. Door knocking. For who? Oh, not Democrats, Republicans. On February 23rd, a resident of Otero County, New Mexico, sent a worried email to one of the three counties' commissioners. My neighbor was a volunteer for a children's aid group, and she recognized someone who came to her door asking how she voted in November. As someone who was either convicted or pleaded guilty to sex with a child. She is terrified. She has grandchildren she cares for. Did the county perform background checks on these volunteers going to voters' homes? The email came in reference to an ongoing canvass of local voter rolls as part of an audit of Otero County's 2020 presidential election. Like in Maricopa County, right? The audit attracted a conspiratorial crowd that has falsely attributed the scumbag con man, Trump flag humper, his re-election loss to voter fraud. As part of the audit, a conspiracy promoting Telegram group, the New Mexico Audit Farce. It's really the New Mexico Audit Farce. Of course, it's force, but farce. Was commissioned to knock on locals' doors. But within an hour of receiving the email complaining of an alleged sex offender knocking on doors, the county commissioner forwarded the message to an attorney. And he said, Aaron, got a question from a resident. Is Audit Force doing background checks on volunteers? No, we're not doing any formal background checks. Please have this person call me if they have any concerns. So the county's position is that these are volunteers. The exact nature of the New Mexico audit farce involvement with Otero County is that the audit has been subject to disputes. Okay, whatever. The point is, these assholes were alerted to the fact that they're sending a pedophile, a known, not even, these are the ones that are always pointing fingers at Democrats now, calling Democrats pedophiles because we don't want to burn gays or beat up trans people or not be like them. be as repugnant as they are. But they, in yet another example, they're literally sending a known pedophile who raped a child, not just the Josh Duggar type who downloaded reams and reams and reams of images of raped children, which is equally repugnant, of course. This is somebody who also, I'm sure, engaged in that repugnant behavior, but also raped a child. God. Okay. What else is new? All right. What's the other thing we wanted to... Here's one last thing that proves my point. I'm talking about... they're traitors, right? Republicans are traitors. And where is this? God damn it. I'm looking for the one thing about Mike Flynn. Mike Flynn is very upset. Mike Flynn believes he's being persecuted because he's getting fined by the U.S. Army for being on Russia's payroll. Russia, though, right? Russia hoax. Yet another insider in the Republican sphere. Another hero to these scumbags. And he's upset. He's being fined because it's actually, he's violating the uniform code of military justice. So the Army, this is what the Army writes. The Army has determined that in December 2015, you failed. This is an article that came out 2 days ago. You failed to obtain the necessary approval in accordance to Army Regulation AR 600-29 before accepting compensation from an entity substantially owned or controlled by a foreign government, in violation of the Emoluments Clause of the Constitution. What else is new, right? But they're going to lecture us about what's unconstitutional. Everything's unconstitutional to them. A woman's right to privacy is suddenly unconstitutional. Having universal health care is unconstitutional. But everything's constitutional according to them. That all their unconstitutional treasonous actions are constitutional. They don't know, they wouldn't know the Constitution, just like they don't know patriotism. They have a superficial understanding. They hate the Constitution. And I say understanding, and I'm being generous. They have no understanding. They hate the Constitution, just like they hate America. They hate democracy. They lack the maturity to function in a free democratic society. That's why they are tearing it down. And they have an allegiance to money. They have an allegiance to their own, to their puffed up, selfish, black hole of rapacious greed. It's never enough. They can't, you can't take it with you. These people are all about Jesus and God. Bullshit. I never seen a group of people more concerned with earthly rewards than these scumbags. If you're truly someone who follows Jesus, right? I mean, we had one truly Christian president, and that was President Carter. They vilify him. They mock him because he's an actual Christian, not just a fake one who considers gay bashing a holy obligation like them. man, these shows go flying by. My name is Tara Devlin. Thank you for hanging out. Become a patron if you can at patreon.com/Tara Devlin, and we will win. Because we're on the right side of history. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, and democracy. We don't have to apologize for that. We stick together. We win. My name is Tara Devlin. I'll see you soon. All right. My God. You got what's going on in the chat? Hi, Shannon. I see you. Yes, apparently being a woman is unconstitutional. Oh, that's the other thing. That's why we need a daily show at a set time, man. That was another story I had in my back pocket about Alito saying, where is this? Oh, no. I'll play this. Here's Mitch McConnell talking about what the Supreme Court is about to do. Drag us back into back alleys. Wait. Of course, ECAM. Come on, ECAM. What have you done? Almost quit the show by accident. That's okay. Here we
For
go.
the Supreme Court to, on any issue, to reach a decision contrary to public opinion is exactly what the Supreme Court is about. It's to protect basic rights, even when majorities are in favor of something else that happens all the time.
What? For the Supreme Court on any issue to reach a decision contrary to public opinion is exactly what the Supreme Court is about. It's to protect basic rights, even when majorities are in favor of something. And what fucking basic right? That's the right to privacy that human beings have enjoyed freely for 50 years. Oh, I hate these people. Every step forward. Now they're protecting basic rights by stripping rights. And like I said, abortion rates do not go down when abortion is criminalized. They hate life. They just want to kill women. They want women to be bitches, back vessels, back in pregnant and barefoot, gays in the closet. They want all of the structures of the Handmaid's Tale, because they hate freedom and democracy. That's all part of destroying it. Put those uppity bitches where they belong. Back in wherever. Just back in the back alleys. Shut your bitch mouth. You notice how that whenever they're right-wingers they argue about if you stand up for your rights, according to right-wingers, you're ugly. Right? Women are ugly who are standing up for their rights, and nobody wants to fuck them anyway. That's the meme, according to right-wingers. Because they're so disgusting and full of shit. So they have to fight with childish retorts and bullshit because democracy is beyond them. It takes maturity to function in a democracy. The kind of system they can only pretend to love. They hate this country. Alito hates this country. Mitch McConnell hates it. He's the one who stopped our president, who won in 2 landslide elections, from fulfilling his constitutionally proscribed role of nominating a Supreme Court judge. He wouldn't allow a vote. And the justification, fixing the facts around the policy. And here we are. A less vote getting con man on a less vote getting, another less vote getting scumbag, George Bush, appointed another justice, just Supreme Court asshole Roberts. All of these less vote getting scumbags dragging people back into the dark ages when nobody asked them to. Who asked them to? The autocrats did. The oligarchs did. So they have to pretend, we're protecting basic rights? By what? Oh, it's against, who cares what the majority thinks? That is the Constitution is supposed to protect the minority from the tyranny of the majority. And only Republicans, the first time now, here we go, where they're taking away a right. In other periods when we've made our leaps forward, rights have been expanded, not reduced. You don't do this. You can't have some scumbag on a whim say, oh, oopsie whoopsie, you don't have that right anymore? Who the fuck are you? You don't have the right to control your own body anymore because we say so? I say so. Me, Alito, and Uncle Clarence, and Amy resting bitch face Barrett handmaid. All who have no honor, no integrity. They have no legs to stand on, really. That's why they feel like they're above everybody. They don't want, nobody should go to their home and protest. But don't go to the Supreme Court either. Because they made that, illegal. They have a buffer around them. How much longer are we going to take it? That's why I always wonder. How much longer? I cannot believe, as I said when we started the show, who votes for these people? Enough is enough. In fact, I saw a tweet. Who was it? Sean Spicer, the liar. A filthy liar. Remember when the first day of Sean Spicer on the job, the press secretary, Trump's first official liar, and he was like, that was the largest inauguration crowd, period. Wow, we knew we were in for it then. But he tweeted out something saying that Nancy Pelosi said that, what was it? Nancy Pelosi says that Mitch McConnell stole the Supreme Court seat. And Sean Spicer tweets out, Nancy Pelosi just lied and said Mitch McConnell stole the Supreme Court. What? You see, it's like opposite world. Nancy Pelosi said the truth. I wish you would say more of it. It drives me insane when Democrats don't say it. That's what they should be saying. They should have been saying that every single day. every time the topic of the Supreme Court came up. They should have instilled and reminded the American people the Supreme Court is illegitimate. It is stolen. Moscow Mitch stole the Supreme Court. And we have to fix it or we don't have a democracy. Moscow Mitch followed in the footsteps of all of his Nazi heroes. That's right out of the Nazi playbook. Oh, they don't want to do that. It's not bipartisan. They don't want to say that. It might hurt. They might turn off the Republicans who will say, you know what? I'm going to vote Democrat Party now. Bullshit. Oh, my God. All right, guys. My neck is bothering me again. But, yes. All right, listen up. Listen. That's going to be it for tonight. I got to go lay down. I want to get unconscious. Where? I can't find the fucking eCam, though. Again. eCam, what happened to you? Who hurt you, eCam? Listen up, guys. If you can, share the show with your friends. Like I say, become a patron. Patreon.com/Tara Devlin. Keep coming back. It works if you work it. So work it, you're worth it, and live it. We will get together another day this week. I'm not sure when. Of course, if someone becomes a patron, that will might spur me on to have a show. Where's the producer? He's in the bedroom. Yes, Errol. I think the producer's he's gonna have to work from the bedroom from now on during the show. He was such a pain in the ass the last show. I couldn't take it. You know, screaming at me, acting crazy, biting my hands. And then I received a little note from one of the patrons who was not happy about it. He was just like, enough. Put the cat in the bedroom. And I was like, yeah, I got to put him in the bedroom. Some people don't like that. You know, they don't like when we're in the middle of a show and all of a sudden it's like the cat starts getting nutty. I love him. He'll come back. He'll make some special guest star appearances. But I gotta, I needed a break. Really. He's very good. You know that. Otherwise. But it's when the show's on. It gets nutty. I guess he doesn't understand probably what I'm doing. Sitting here, talking. Well, what am I doing? It's probably confusing to him. And he wants to play. He also wants to be pet. He wants the attention. I'm sure he doesn't know. Like, what do you... Well, it's as if I'm saying something. I'm sure he doesn't know what I'm doing a podcast. And I'm talking to some people. And there's a whole internet. He doesn't know any of these things. He's just like, what are you doing? Why aren't you petting me? Why aren't you looking at me? You're talking? Who are you talking to? So he's in the bedroom. I had to trick him, too. I tricked him. I was like, come on. I had some food. I brought it into the bedroom, so I gave him some, he had some food. I'm sure he's fine. He'll be fine. He's not crying. I don't hear him crying. He's probably laying on the bed. Just like stewing. Saying like, why aren't I producing? I know. Richard W., how did the producer feel about it? Unions have rules. Exactly. Well, I might get a call from his union rep. He doesn't want to, he doesn't like working remotely, probably. Does he make biscuits? Suzanne says. He does. He's making biscuits in the room now. He is a biscuit maker. I like that about him. I like that part about him, Shani. He's a biscuit maker. He's a very good biscuit maker. When he's not being a pain in the ass. I know. Errol says, I think it's time you train the producer to work with you, Tara. Yes. I should. I wish. I need him to go on medication. I'm going to take him to the vet and get him on some Prozac. I'm not kidding. Because he's driving me crazy. With him and Ray are driving me crazy. Ray's fine. It's that he hates Ray. And it's enough already. It's a year and a half. Like, stop. Every time Ray walks by, he's growling at him. It's very annoying. Oh, and the other thing, poor little Ray had to... Where is Ray? He's out. He's probably in the kitchen. Ray had to have 5 teeth pulled. Okay? Ray is only 2 years old. He was the cat that followed me home. Basically, he was born outside, and I got him when he was, I brought him home when he was like 6 months. And I'm looking up. The vet sent me a thing. So he went I took him, for a checkup. And he's got something wrong with his mouth. He's got a condition. What's it called? He was supposed to send me a thing about it. He didn't send me it. There's like some condition that gives them lesions. I gotta call him about that. He's got some, I don't know what it is. I can't pronounce it. I don't know what it is now. I was gonna look it up. He was supposed to send me like a, he was supposed to send me a little paper on it. But it's something that makes his teeth rotten. 5 teeth, and he had some stinky breath, so I suspected it. But when he went to the vet last time, I mentioned to the vet, he's got stinky breath. And he checked his mouth, and it was fine. But I guess it was festering. Because now he's got 5 lesions. He had 5 lesions, and his teeth were like rotting in his mouth. And so he had to have 5 teeth pulled. And he's doing good. And also, his breath does not stink now, which is good. So he's feeling better, hopefully, but he said that he might end up like toothless down the road as he gets older. I got to really stay on top of it. I got to brush his teeth. Not now, of course, he's still healing, but... And it makes me sad when I think about the cats that are outside that have that, and they get no relief. And thankfully, he was smart enough to ask for help. Not like Donald Trump Jr. He's smarter than Donald Trump Jr. because when he was having a hard time out there, he asked for help. And that's takes courage. So, yeah, he's a good boy. It'll be nice to now understand. I mean, I never understood why his breath stunk. I just thought, oh, well, this is him. Maybe this is his, just the way he smells. Because the vet looked at him at the time, but yeah, now it was like, boom, his mouth exploded. Alrighty. Yes, he's FIV negative, Suzanne. And he had all the tests done. I'll find out what it is. I gotta call him or email the vet and ask him. He was supposed to send me a little pamphlet about it. All right, and I'll let you know what it's called. It's a new one for me. I've never heard of it, so. But it apparently rots out the teeth. And he said they don't know why it happens. It's a mystery. They think it could be a vitamin D, not a deficiency. What's the other one? Like too much vitamin D? Something. Righty. All right, I'm losing my voice, so time to get unconscious. It's already almost 11, and thank you for hanging out. Thank you, Jim, for your super chat. Thank you, Matt, for your super chat. And thank you, Richard W., for your super chat. And thank you, everybody else. Thank you, Haiku, for your being a moderator, and Jim and Mark for your moderation duties, and everybody else in the chat room. We will meet back here one day this week. I don't know when. Hopefully sooner rather than later. And if we get a patron, we'll do a show that night. Otherwise, we'll do a show when, I don't know, maybe Wednesday. Or sooner. It depends. We'll see how my voice goes. I got to get unconscious. I didn't have a lot of sleep last night. Yeah. I was having trouble sleeping. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. It does give me hope to see you all. I know we will win. Because we are on the right side of history. That's for sure. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, and democracy. Thank you so much for hanging out. My name is Tara Devlin, and I will see you very soon.